So this one is about the nature of commerce, not in terms of some kind of business concept, but in terms of what actually goes on. What does commercial mean? What is the purpose of commerce? Why do we use it? What's its nature? And in the same way, I've just recently done a podcast about the nature of money. My hope is to reveal the purpose and the nature of commerce so that we can understand how we can actually follow our own nature in order to achieve the same goals and aims. And, I'm sure it won't take much to convince you that, the nature of our reality right now, the impact of COVID, the conflict throughout the planet, the nature of global warming, over farming, cataclysmic events, and it's time to look at things and say, okay, what is it that we want to hold on to that's still relevant, and what do we need to now let go of in order to adapt to the emerging truth? What is no longer necessary and essential? What is now becoming an impediment? What do we now have to allow to become obsolete? What traditions are we holding on to that are holding us back as a species? And how can we harness the potential of innovation and human potential in order to create something new that is in alignment with nature, that harnesses the inherent nature of everyone and everything involved, in order to thrive together towards a unified intended purpose. And it's not hard for all human beings to come together with a shared intent. There's one thing that we all share that's within all of us that we don't need to have a vote on in order to agree, and that is that we want to thrive. It's our nature as organic beings to vigorously grow and expand, and that's the very definition of what it means to thrive, to vigorously grow and expand, meaning that whatever your will, it be done. Your reality, it opens up in front of you. It follows your intention. And if you're tapped into and tuned into your latent potential, and you're following your own inspiration without question and trusting it, trusting your own interpretation of how that feels, of what it means, of the kinetic energy that you've been imbued with, that's calling you to act in a specific way, that's calling you to express yourself in a specific way, to say something, to paint something, to create something, to move, to stay, to be, to become, to do, to collaborate. Whatever that may be, it's time for us to come together as one people, as one nation, and collaborate together to follow our own nature so that we can thrive. Like a murmuration of birds, like a pod of dolphins. They're just following their own natures individually. They're following their own nature. And yet somehow, magically, they work together seamlessly as one. They're not checking in with each other. They're not trying to help one another. They're just being what they are. A starling, a dolphin. They're following the inspiration within them to act and behave. Behavior just happens. They interpret the signals they receive, and action happens without a free will choice. And the result is the higher mind that they all share, because they're receiving the impulses from this mind, and that mind is one thing. And it's the same with human beings. If we could just follow our inspiration and express our true nature without withholding it, without trying to be the same as everyone else, where we actually identify what makes us different and unique and aberrant, and we enhance it. We collaborate together to make use of it. We see each other's uniqueness and we embrace it. We link that latent potential of what makes that person unique with someone who has the potential to appreciate that. This is how nature works. Everything evolves to fulfill the desire of something else. And whilst your latent potential is not about being in servitude to someone else, it's understanding that the way you have evolved is an adaptation of what the greater environment requires you to contribute. It's asking of you to express your nature into the world so that the unmet need that you've evolved to meet as nature is met. Yet the gift and the curse of a human being, free will choice, the original sin. You can choose to withhold your nature. You can feel inspiration arise. You can withhold it. You can feel inspiration arise. You can feel the enthusiasm rise, and you can still make a decision to withhold it. You can choose to stop and analyze it and try and figure out a scientific reason why it's viable to follow that inspiration before you follow it. Because human beings, we don't trust our own nature because we reject it on the whole. We refuse to accept that we have the potential to express evil. We refuse to accept that a part of a human being's nature is that they can rob and steal and pillage, even murder. We refuse to accept that that potential exists within our species, but it does. It does. A shark is absolutely horrifying, and its nature is to absolutely decimate and annihilate its prey, like in a really, really violent fashion. But we don't shun a shark for following its nature. We're in awe of its uniqueness. Its essence, its nature is violence. And yet, when you understand a shark, you understand that it's not really violent at all. But what exists within it is the potential to utterly devour its prey in the most violent of fashions. Human beings, we don't accept the part of us that has that potential. And therefore, we can't realize our greatest potential as a species. Because in order to be able to achieve anything, you have to understand and accept that you're capable of anything. When you can accept that you are capable of anything, of stealing, of violence, then you really know and you feel it within you that you are capable of everything. The good and the bad. But to reject and to resist your own nature is to withhold your potential. That can never be realized until you accept what makes you unique, until you accept the feelings in your body, until you have the courage to receive a thought and to stay with it and to interpret it and to allow that interpretation to sink in. This is what self-love means. This is what self-acceptance is. It's saying that in this moment, I am less than. I am powerless. Not I feel. I am powerless in this moment. COVID lockdown has just happened and I can't get back to my home. I am trapped. It just is. I am powerless. It just is. They're just aspects of your nature. Just asking for you to acknowledge them and accept them rather than resist them. Because once you know how it feels to be trapped, you can appreciate what it means to be truly free. and consciously seek to express that part of your nature. I am free. I am untethered. I'm free of obligation. Those things all of a sudden have meaning and become important and give you a reason to focus your attention on them and to actively pursue them. To be free of obligation, that is freedom. So you can create a life for yourself within which you can be free of obligation, where you can be entirely self-reliant, when you can be totally self-responsible, where you trust your own ability to discern what's right for you based on what you're inspired towards. You come to trust your inspiration implicitly, and you know that when you feel that kinetic energy within you, that you've received a gift that contains within it the power to move forward, to act, and to express yourself in a way that feels incredible. You don't need a reason. It's a gift. And this is what I want to talk about in relation to commerce. Our gifts. You are part of nature, and you have uniqueness within you that you've evolved to express into the world in order to serve a purpose, just like everything else in nature, how it's completely symbiotic with one another. You know, we have this incredible dependency upon bees to pollinate things. But bees aren't born as a slave to the rest of life. They aren't born in servitude to everything else that lives. A bee is just following its own nature, just being a bee. It's not withholding its nature. It's not withholding being a bee. It's not born as a bee pretending to be a wasp or a shark or a human. It's allowing its nature to arise. And because nature is intelligent, it's fulfilling an unmet need of the rest of life. The same goes for human beings. And so once you truly understand this, and once you come to accept it, it becomes irrefutable after a while. Then you ask yourself, okay, well, what's the purpose of commerce? What is commerce? Commerce is the way we measure how I can't even think of the word. Profitable? You know, how much we're thriving, how prosperous we are. There's this thing called an economy, and the performance of the economy determines whether we're thriving or not as a species. Isn't that insane? Isn't that insane? Oh, the economy's doing well, so yeah, everyone's happy for some reason. There are, lots of people who are, depressed and, on the verge of taking their own lives. It probably hasn't got a huge amount to do with how well the economy is performing, how well the dollar's doing. It's because people have needs and they're being unmet. And the reason they're being unmet is because you and the rest of us are withholding your nature. You're using money as an excuse not to express your uniqueness into the ecosystem that you live in. Unmet needs. We have needs as human beings, and they're all different. We all have a yearning and a desire within us that we can't explain. We receive our thoughts from, one mind that we all share. But yet we also have free will, so we can choose to ignore it. Where do those thoughts come from? Why do they come in that way? Why do I feel inspired by this? Why am I feeling the way that I'm feeling by looking at this painting? How come I call that color red and this person calls it orange? The lens of your perspective is so uniquely different to everyone else's. And that means that your interpretation of the signals you're receiving from your environment are different to anyone else's. And so how can there be a singular truth? The truth doesn't exist. Only your truth exists. And that when you hit on it, it's a feeling. I know this is red. But to the other person, they know it's orange. Both of you feel the truth of it within you. Who's right? Both and neither. And so it is utterly pointless trying to prove your perspective or convince someone else of your perspective. The only way we can truly thrive as a species is for us to share our own unique perspective and then invite others who share that perspective to unify in intent. You don't try and convince someone that you're right, because you are right. You don't need to convince anyone. You just have to have the courage to share your perspective. And when you do, you're opening up other people to join with your intent. You're opening up the potential for other people to be inspired towards the realization of your vision, ultimately what it is you desire. And this is nature working with us. Inspiration is a gift that you receive that holds kinetic energy that will really is the key to abundance. Following your inspiration without questioning it, expressing your nature the way that it's naturally arising, and just trusting that it's going to meet a currently unmet need. I'm not recording this audio to please anyone. I'm not recording it even to help anyone. It's just a feeling I have inside my body, and I'm expressing it, and now it's out of my body. Your reaction as you listen is nothing to do with me. I'm not attached to it. You may reject it. It could trigger you. It could inspire you. It may make you feel awkward, uneasy. That's none of my concern. All I'm concerned with is that these feelings are arising within my body, and I'm using the best words I can conceive of to carry the energy that's within my chest. Sometimes I get the words wrong. Sometimes I get the tense wrong. Doesn't matter. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm not trying to get you to do anything. I'm not in servitude to you. I am expressing my nature, and I trust that it's going to ignite and spark some people, and it's not others. It'll repel others. And so this is the scene that I want to set as we discuss commerce, because the nature of commerce in this context, what's the point of an economy? What's the point of a financial sector that bundles together virtual financial products and just plays a game of roulette with them? Here's a bundle of mortgages clumped together with a AAA rating, and we'll just sneak some dodgy ones in there, see what happens. Then trillions of dollars move around the economy. Then there's a massive economic crash, and then the taxpayer funds the bailing the banks out. What? The insanity of it is it's so hard to accept. So unnatural. And the fact that it's so grotesque in nature, like anything, if we come across pure evil in our environment, whether someone's committed an atrocity, whether it be financial or, horrific in nature, violent in nature, then we reject it. We don't want to accept the truth of it, of how powerless we are. or how powerless we think we are. And so we're the slaves to the economy. We choose it. We choose to be. But my hope, and this is what I want to share about, that through the nature of my business, Morpheus, through the nature of the e-commerce platform that's coming online, Powerhouse, collaborative marketplace for collaborators, is my intention is for collaboration to become the new economy. Cooperative collaboration is the emerging economy. And the reason for that is because money is not essential. Money is not required. I'll give you an example. If you have an inspired idea, you receive inspiration for an idea, the reality is that there's something valid to it because you're part of nature, you've received something out of the blue from nature, and it holds energy within it. You feel inspired. You're feeling inspired to express yourself in some way, to act, to jump on Google, to talk to this person, to go get a book on this, whatever it may be. That's a gift that was given and it held energy within it, and that within that energy is the impetus for you to act and move forward. You don't question it, just express it. And, like most people, they'll let the inspiration carry them. They'll let the passion drive them. They don't question it. It's just a desire. They express that desire. And at some point, they'll realize that they can't do it all on their own. And what's the first thing you think of? Oh, I need money to carry this forward. So why do you need money in order to carry your project forward? Well, I need to pay for a web designer. I need to pay for a product manager. I need to pay for, an accountant. I need to pay for a project coordinator, graphic designer. Could be loads of different things. But it's actually not money you need for those things. It's expertise, skills of people. And the reality is, if you have the ability to inspire people, if you have the ability to share your vision and invite people to collaborate, not by giving you things for free, but by saying, this is my vision, this is what I'm trying to achieve. How can we collaborate together to share the burden, to share the risks, to share the reward of the success that we can create together? If people are inspired, it's passion that'll drive them to utilize their skills, especially if they're latent. I use this metaphor all the time about an accountant. They go to work and they sit at their desk and they do accounting all day. But they've got, a dozen other hobbies. They're into photography, they're into graphic design, they fiddle around with videos. And it's just, they only do it because they're passionate about it. They've got some curiosity that they can't explain. And so they've only got the evenings and the weekends to explore that curiosity. So all we're doing is we're saying, explore that curiosity on this project. Utilize those gifts now to initiate a project with other people who are inspired to use their gifts in the same way. I don't know why I'm inspired to be the web developer for this project. I certainly don't need to be an expert web developer, just good enough to be able to use this gift now to meet a currently unmet need. I feel like I'm contributing to something. I feel like it's not money that's driving this. I feel like there's something, bigger than me that I'm a part of, that we're all giving of ourselves in a passionate way to realize a shared vision. I can see what all the other collaborators, what their value is. I can see that there's no money in this project now, but I can see the potential. I can see the forecast. I can see that once we collaborate together to accomplish this milestone, that there's likely to be revenue coming in, and we're all going to share of it based on our contribution. That's totally transparent. We're all in this together. Because we're all in this together, I can see that the person that's taken on the responsibility of being the web developer, there's a huge bottleneck and they're inundated. So collectively, we can come together and seek an assistant to help that person. And we all share some of our contribution to make space and to adapt for that person coming in. We're always inviting in what we need. We're never saying to someone they're not good enough, because their passion's driving them. Their inspiration is driving them. You can't say to someone that that's not good enough because it's perfect. And so you're always seeking to enhance someone's passion. And you're only ever working with people whose passion is driving them to use that gift. And once you get people working together on a vision, collaborating authentically towards the realization of a vision, it's not about money. It's about meaning. That by appreciating my own gifts now, by choosing to express them into the ecosystem that I'm a part of now, into the environment now, I am appreciating myself. I'm choosing to appreciate my gifts now. I'm not waiting for money first. I'm choosing to utilize them now, and it's your own appreciation of your own gifts that are going to open you up to receiving more and more and more, and creating gravity around yourself. You're telling the environment, this is how I choose to be. Heart-led, inspired. I choose to express my passion. I choose to nurture my gifts by choosing to use them now. And hey, I certainly hope this project is profitable and becomes a standalone business. But even if it doesn't, I've had an incredible time. What a journey. But the reality is, if everyone is unified in intent with a singularity of purpose, all pursuing their passion, expressing their gifts into this project, they're following nature. Nature wants it to succeed. And eventually you begin trusting and letting go. Now, some people, and I've come across people like this, some people have the gift of seeing the potential in others. I have this gift myself. And so people with money are capable of backing other people that they can see the potential in. And so projects that are collaborative can still attract collaborators that want to give their gift, and that is their gift of backing other people through money, through encouragement, through helping them see their own potential, by standing by their side until they're ready to, back themselves and stand alone. Everyone has a unique gift that they can contribute, but it's about understanding what makes you unique and embracing that uniqueness. And so, an economy? Oh, okay. An economy is the measure. We can thrive now. All it takes is the courage within you to back yourself, to reveal the truth of what makes you unique, to choose to nurture your gifts now, regardless of, financial consequences. You use it because spontaneously in the moment, the inspiration is there, the passion's there, and that's why you choose to do it. And so cooperative collaboration, from my perspective, it is and it will become the new economy. collaborative projects being initiated through passion. People were inspired, sharing their gifts, nurturing their gifts, appreciating themselves, to come together to create standalone projects that are sovereign in their own right, that have been created by people who are sovereign and self-reliant in their own right. And everyone thrives and prospers because of it, and no one is left behind. No one. We don't stop until the uniqueness of every human being has been identified and understood and expressed into the environment. Imagine that, all human beings thriving together as one, like a murmuration of birds, like a pod of dolphins, in perfect synchronization, just following their nature without question. This is the future I can see, and cooperative collaboration is the mechanism, from my perspective. Okay, that's all for now. For the nature of, what is it again? For the nature of commerce. Okay, that's all. Catch you soon.